Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Chair League Division 2 action. Just waiting for Sweet Synergy to find their way into the game here, and we'll be ready to go. It is a big week in Heroes news. We, of course, had the Chromie patch where she is eligible and ready to go in Chair League. We also had a number of other heroes receive buffs and reworks, different things that will shake up the meta. So we're going to all learn in that new meta together. And Chair League action is certainly where we're going to see that play out. I say every week I am new at casting. I am still new at casting. So I always welcome constructive criticism, things you like, things you don't like. And just to prove that I'm listening to you, last week we had Halloran recommend a new sweet observer interface we'll be using. Thank you, Halloran. Also had Akuma suggest music. If you were here for the loading screen, we had music. He also suggested upping the resolution, which you can now see my ugly mug better, but the resolution of the game will also be better, so we have upped the resolution thanks to Akuma, and feedback from some of the members of Sweet Synergy who I also casted last week on my pronunciation of Zagara. So change that for you guys. I am listening. If you do have feedback, please let me know. I love to hear your feedback. My first impressions of Chromie, while we're going to kill a little time waiting for our second team. I think she's a little underwhelming, to be honest. I found her fairly easy to counter. She is really squishy, and she has no escapes unless you use the bye-bye talent. You can spec into a bit of an escape, but other than that, she really does not have any escapes to speak of. Does a ton of damage, but the skill shots are certainly tough to hit. When they described Leeming, when she came out, they described her as high skill, high damage. I think Chromie actually fits that bill better. I think she's much more difficult to play. And I really think it'll take a skillful player to get the most out of her. Today, Division 2 maps are on Towers of Doom, so that's where we will be. Chromie is eligible in Chair League, so you can play her. Either team is eligible to draft her should they choose to do so. We'll talk a little bit about our two teams today. First team currently in lobby, and that would be Influx and us. They are a veteran team for Chair League. They were here for 6 games in Season 1, went 3-3, and that was enough to earn them placement into Division 2 for Season 2. This year they've gotten off to a stronger start, currently 4-1, and toward the top of the Division 2 standings. So this is a big game for both teams because this will really elevate either one of the teams towards the very, very upper echelon of the Division 2. Their opponent today is Sweet Synergy. I had the pleasure of casting them last week, and looks like Oddish just hosted. So hello, Oddish, and thanks for the host once again. We were just starting to talk about you guys, so excellent timing. Sweet Synergy, I had the pleasure of casting them last week, and look forward to doing again this week. All female heroes of the Storm team. They're very good. I was very impressed with their play last week. Despite myself thinking they lost the draft and the chat lobby thinking they had lost the draft, and when I touched bases with Oddish briefly after their game, she thought they lost the draft too. It really didn't show in the game. They really put it on their opponents. Honeychild, who just dropped into our lobby here as Sweet Synergy starts to trickle into the game lobby. Honeychild was really good on Zagara, and that was for you guys, changing my pronunciation to Zagara. Honeychild hit some really big mosh pits to set up a wombo combo 3-4 times, and it was completely different in the game. The kills were very lopsided. So both teams currently 4-1 in Division 2. Both teams looking to stay at the top of Division 2. I have not seen Influx and us play. obviously have seen Sweet Synergy play, and I really think you're going to see Sweet Synergy at the top of Division 2 at the end of the season. They're very good, and I would be very surprised if they weren't at the top of Division 2, to be honest. They're certainly one of the better teams that I've seen in Division 2. I also play in Chair League on a Division 1 team called the Leftovers. We have scrimmed versus Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. I think I have a fairly good idea of kind of where all the teams sort themselves out, and I think Sweet Synergy will be at the top of Division 2, or toward the top anyway, at the end of this season. Assuming Jova doesn't rework... Hello, Threeling! Assuming Jova doesn't rework the division structure too much and keeps the current structure more or less intact, I think you're going to see them bump up a division if they continue to play as well as they did last week, because they were very impressive. We do have the draft. Looks like we're just getting started with the draft, so let me go ahead and switch to our draft screen here. There we are. If my volume is not good or any other technical things need adjustment, please chat room let me know. I'm still dialing in my casting, so the technical aspects are my weakness, so let me know. Sweet Synergy has the first pick, first ban. Typically, we're seeing Kael'thas always get hit in this first round of bans. However, with the big patch we were talking about, Falstad was a big part of that. Who knows? Oh, Kael'thas goes through. 2 quick bans. Falstad banned out by Sweet Synergy. His gust and mobility on this map are very good. I think his rework is going to end up being a little bit of a nerf myself. Tracer ban, just because she's annoying to play against. And Kael'thas, despite the nerf to his talent, first pick. This draft is moving really fast. Kael'thas, first pick by Sweet Synergy. Influx responding with Leeming, good damage, and Zagara probably will end up being the solo laner on the bottom on this map. Sweet Synergy now with their second and third picks. One of the reworked Anubarak. He's kind of being pigeonholed into an anti-mage tank, so I'm very excited to see how he's played. And Zul will probably be on the bottom lane countering Zagara. Influx will now be making their second ban. I would imagine a healer ban, although that would leave their own healers less to choose from, so it will be interesting to see what way they go. Sweet Synergy already has a damage dealer, specialist, and a tank. So if you're going to isolate a rollout against Sweet Synergy, healer is really the only role that you can isolate here. They're now out of this draft's time slot and into the team time pool. Really thinking about the second ban. And they do ban the support. I guess they weren't interested in Rhaegar themselves, so they banned Rhaegar from Sweet Synergy. On Sweet Synergy side, I would imagine you probably will see a tank ban or a healer ban, neither of which Influx has selected. So that gives you the role isolation that they could choose to do if they wanted to. Sweet Synergy now out of their picks time and into the team pool. And Tyrael ban. You don't see too much in the way of Tyrael ban. My team's run Tyrael a couple times. I think we won both the games we ran with him. If you play that Sanctification right, it's really tough, so I think that's a good ban if that's just something you don't want to deal with. Influx now has 2 picks, and they go with the Sonya Dahaka frontline. Dahaka's global on this map is really good, and he can use his tongue ability to really isolate a target. When played right, he's very tough. And Sonya, always a solid pick, good wave clear, good damage, and that gives them a really solid front line for their squishies to play behind. Sweet Synergy has 2 picks, and they need a healer and something else. Maybe Brightwing would be the way to go on this map with his global. He is still available. Tyrande also synergizes well with all the stuns that they have with Kael'thas and Anubarak and Zul's Bone Prism. So if they wanted to continue along that crowd control build they're going, Uther does the same thing. There's a lot of real stuns on Sweet Synergy right now. So they go with Uther as their support. They currently have 1 stun from Kael'thas, 2 from Anubarak, 1 from Uther, and a root from Zool, so they can really lock someone down if they want to right here. For their last pick, they could do any number of things. A ranged assassin, specialist. They could go another tank if they wanted to. Illidan still on the table if that's something they want to mess around with. Last time they threw me a curveball and picked Nova. Could go Nova again if they wanted to, although she doesn't have really good targets on the other side to pick on, so I don't think we'll see that. There's the second tank, Stitches, and if they land a hook with Stitches, the rest of the team can completely lock them down. A lot of stuns and a lot of roots and lockdown for the part of Sweet Synergy. A lot of pressure on Kael'thas and Zool to provide the damage, though, because Uther is certainly not going to provide much damage. So a real heavy front line. 4 melee characters for Sweet Synergy. And Influx goes with my suggestion of Brightwing, which will pair nicely with Dahaka. A lot of global presence on this map. Let me see if our teams are ready to rock and roll. And we'll get this party started. Alright. We have started the game. Both teams are going to be picking their skins and their tints. Trying to get a little fashion coordinated here. Both teams, I love Bikini Stitches. I hope Oddish stays on it. I think this is one of the funniest skins on here. So, always a treat when we get to see Bikini Stitches. I'm not sure which draft I really like better here. Both teams have some things going for them. If I were to pick one, I think I would say Sweet Synergy a little bit, just because they have so much lockdown. They really have a lot. When you throw Cocoon in there as well for Anubarak, if they combo that together, that's a lot of lockdown. So I might tend to favor theirs. Just a little bit, although I also thought they lost last week and they showed that I don't know what I'm talking about, so we'll have to see when we go in game. I do say Bikini Stitches. We're all in for a treat. Unfortunately on this screen I can only see what Sweet Synergy is doing. They're kind of getting a blue icy tint for all their characters with the Bikini Stitches and the I don't know what the Zool skin is called, but the kind of serpent snake looking one. Yeah, I don't disagree. The cocooning of the Brightwing, if they can get to her, will take down the healing, and then that's a lot of damage with Poison Nova. If Zool goes Poison Nova and all the Kael'thas damage, and just a lot of lockdown. That's a lot of lockdown on the part of Sweet Synergy. All right, 10 out of 10 players. We're going to get this game going. We're going to go ahead and switch to our in-game screen so I can change the names of the teams before we get in game.
The battle begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Thank you for that, Threeling. I apparently did not unmute my mic button fast enough or hard enough, so I thought I clicked it, but I didn't. So you guys missed all of that. My most profound apologies. I hope you're hearing now, and thank you for letting me know. Sweet Synergy has rotated 3 players down to bottom. And here is the triple altar spawn. Since the fairly recent rework on this map, the only times you will get triple altar spawns are the first altar spawns and the 5th altar spawns. It looks like Sweet Synergy is going to send everybody but Zool up to these top 2, while Influx or us has a party bush set up on these top 2 altars. Honeychild needs to be very careful. I think they smell something out. She does get hit by the arcane orb. Sonya gets hooked, Anubrak burrows in, and Anubrak's gonna... Sonya nearly gets killed, but able to spin for the win away. Dahaka is now isolated, and all 5 members of Sweet Synergy fighting over this. Influx Rust was able to sneak at the bottom altar. A lot of damage going around, nobody really able to finish the job. Sonya very low, Anubrak very low. Zool very, very low, and there goes Zool. Anubrak also in trouble. There goes Uther, and the Ghost Heal not able to keep Anubrak up. Oddish on our favorite Bikini Stitches, running for her life, and I don't think she's going to get away. She is not. That's 4 members of Sweet Synergy killed. Kael'thas might be able to sneak this top one, and he does. Well played by Honeychild to at least get 1 altar out of the deal. Influx or us now going to take advantage of their soaking opportunities as Sweet Synergy starts to spawn. Nice stasis dodge by Dahaka. We have 4 members of Sweet Synergy currently in mid. Now they're breaking off into their lane. Zool is returning to his duel with Zagara at the bottom, and Anubrak returning to his duel with Sonya at the top. Dahaka currently by himself in mid, while members of Influx or us are getting this camp here. Dahaka might be in a little trouble if they can chain this, and maybe watch for the hook here. Possibly it was on cooldown. Influx or us is about 1 level ahead right now, due to the 4-for-nothing team fight they were able to take. And yeah, about a 1 level difference here. Looks like Li Ming is going to tap back for mana to be ready to go for the next altar spawn. And both teams are just kind of settling into a defensive stance here, soaking all of the lanes, waiting for the next altar spawn. We're going to go up to the mid lane here. Oh, might have something to go top here. Sonya is trying to solo this camp. She does have Brightwing and Li Ming to support her. 3 members of Sweet Synergy are here, and they drive Influx or off the camp. I don't think anybody's going to die here. Well, maybe Uther now if he gets into tower range. Both sides content to do a little damage and pull back, but Sweet Synergy did prevent Influx or us from taking the Merc camp. Second altar spawn is on the bottom, and currently Influx or us has an advantage because they have creep spread all over this. They're going to have really good vision. Although they're also late to rotating, Sweet Synergy is going to get here first. If they capitalize, they will have a 5-on-2 until Dahaka, Sonya, and Li Ming get here. So they might be able to just zone this out and get the altar. We'll see how that goes. Brightwing is the first one in, and that was not a good move. She is going to go down There's the isolation on the hook we were talking about. Influx now has no heals and is currently fighting a 5-on-4. I think discretion might be the better part of valor here for Influx, and they should probably pull back. Brightwing put himself in the front line, overextended a little bit, and Stitches did not miss with the hook. The isolation follow-up was there, and Sweet Synergy possibly contemplating a Merc Camp invasion, but not with Zagre's creep there. They're going to wisely pull back. Dahaka is isolated here. You have a 3-4-man rotation from Sweet Synergy. Dahaka may have sniffed it out, and he's pulling back. And once again, Influx is getting their own Merc Camps. Zool is by himself bottom, and everybody rotating back to lanes. We're probably going to go back to a little bit of a calm between altar spawns, which tends to happen here. Once again, chat room, I apologize for the mute there. You guys didn't get to see me call out who's on who, so my apologies there. That's my technical weakness I was explaining. Now we have a 4-on-3 engage with Sweet Synergy at a disadvantage here. Uther is getting a ton from Dahaka. He's going to be isolated. It's going to be close. He's getting body blocked. Oddish doing a nice job of kind of counter body blocking for him. Playing a little bit of fullback there to try to get Uther out alive, and it is successful. Sweet Synergy has closed up the XP lead a little bit. Instead of being about a half a level down, they're maybe about a quarter of a level down. So as of right now, Influx will get... Anubarak needs to be careful up here. 3 members of Influx will steal the camp from Anubarak. That's annoying, but better not to die there. As it stands right now, Influx will get level 10 a short while before Sweet Synergy. 4 hit points are about even. We have Influx rotating down to the mid, Kael'thas wisely withdrawing, and the 3rd altar spawn will be between the 2 bottom Merc camps. And Influx is on the verge of level 10, and their ultimates. I think Sweet Synergy might concede this. Zool needs to make sure he gets out of here. Oh, there's the ultimates, and Zool is going to go down. Both sides have reached 10. I will go over those ultimates here momentarily after everybody's picked them. Sweet Synergy is wisely going to concede this altar spawn. They are 5-on-4, but they might get leaning. There wasn't quite enough follow-up there. And a 3-man maw against Sweet Synergy. 3 members in there. Phoenix to try to deter the follow-up, but the follow-up is there with the Poison Nova. Stitches goes down, as does Brightwing and Sonya. Sweet Synergy kind of turned something out of nothing there, so that was well played by them. We have a 2-for-2 exchange there. Everybody kind of low on life here, except for Zool. There's the root and the stun from the Anubarak. I don't know if they have quite enough to finish him off, and they don't, but they will force him to hearth back. So let's go ahead and see these ultimates. We did see Zool took Poison Nova. Uther took Divine Shield. Kael'thas took Phoenix. Locust Swarm for Anubarak, Putrid Bile from Stitches, and for some reason they're not showing here on their side. Oh, let's go down here. A little bit of skirmishing at the bottom. Leap for Sonya, Devouring Maw, which we saw from Zagara, Disintegrate from Leeming, Emerald Wind, not Big Heal from Brightwing, and Isolation from Dahaka. Zool is currently split pushing the top lane. It looks like Influx is trying to catch him out. Wisely, Laura saw it coming, pulled back out of harm's way, and now that leaves 3 members of Sweet Synergy to push on the bottom against just Dahaka. Probably going to get a tower out of this because it looks like Influx or us is content to let them push here, and in exchange they're getting the top Merc camp. Altars have spawned, both teams at level 12. This is a really close game. Both of the top altar spawns are here. Zool doing his best to pester. He's probably going to clear out his top wave before rotating down. Kind of an aggressive rotation. Brightwing out in front again needs to be very careful. Brightwing is in a bad spot. I don't think he knows it. And there he goes to pull back. There's a stun on Dahaka. Follow-up stun from KT. Takes a nice chunk of damage, and Sweet Synergy zones out Influx or us. It looks like both teams are content to trade. Leeming throws a Disintegrate in, not much done there. There's the Poison Nova and the Phoenix. Zones out Influx. The Emerald Wind is a disengage. It looks like Emerald is going to be content to pull back. And neither team really doing much in the way of kills. A lot of damage thrown out. Hey, Flimsy, I saw you this time. When you change names like that, man, it really throws me off. One of my teammates in the chat, so shout out to Flimsy Muffin. Thanks for supporting me, man, on the casting. I do appreciate it. Influx currently about half a level ahead, and currently a talent tier ahead, 13 to 12. Sweet Synergy might lose this camp. This is going to be close. They do manage to get it. Sonya leaps in. 4 members of Influx rotating in. Stitches gets tongued, although they manage to just hang on, get the Merc camp, and disengage, despite being split up there. We should have the next altar spawn any moment now. Both teams on even talent tiers. Sweet Synergy has 24 hit points left on their core to 28 on Influx, so this is about as close as you can get. Really, the only truly decisive team fight was the very, very first one where Sweet Synergy lost 4 members. Since that time, it has been very, very, very close. Let's go take a peek at the bottom lane. It looks like there might have some action going on here. Zagara, for you, Sweet Synergy, has a real nice creep spread here. And we're back into one of the lulls before the altar spawn. This is the 5th altar spawn. It is a triple altar spawn. I assume Dahaka is going to clear and then come bot because Influx has 4 members. Nope, I lied. They are rotating. Looks like they're going. Both teams are maybe going to ignore the bottom altar and posture for the top one here. Stitches and Dahaka here a little early, already battling out. Oddish taking a fair amount of damage on the Stitches. Both teams here, we have a 5-on-5 engagement. It looks like they're content to split again, although Anubrak is rotating down to the bottom. Maybe they're sensing the sniff, or the split. And both teams both get their own tops. Uther gets dragged by Dahaka, and there's a maw onto Kael'thas, but I think Zagara is going to fall. Disintegrate there, takes out Kael'thas. Oh, that was a nice Divine Shield to keep Stitches from really suffering too much. 2 members of Sweet Synergy down, Zul and Kael'thas. Good hook. Sonya's going to fall. That evens out the team fight 2 to 2. Really nice hook from Oddish. Although in the middle of all that, Anubrak went down and snuck the bottom shrine, which leaves the teams even in 4 hit points. Both have 20 left. Both sides at level 15. Neither side able to take any structures. Really well played by both teams. And a really very close game. Sweet Synergy needs to be a little careful here. This is an aggressive invade, and they have at least Leeming coming down, although maybe Leeming in trouble now. This is a little bit of an awkward engage for both teams. Anubrak dives in. Now we have a 5-on-4. Dahaka's caught in the Phoenix and stunned. He manages to stasis away. We'll see if he gets out anyway, and he will not. Dahaka not quite dead yet. Oh, he does get out. Well played by Dahaka. Now Anubrak is in trouble and gets blown up. Really well played by Dahaka to get out of there. Sonya is rooted as a disengage. Sweet Synergy is taking a lot of damage here. They do manage to only lose Anubrak and disengage. They're probably going to have to go back, or the wells are available, so they just tap. This is a good idea by Influx. While they're at the advantage, they take Sweet Synergy's Merc camps. Brightwing is going to hearth back for mana and then teleport back in. And now we have 2 altar spawns with Influx at the talent tier advantage as well as the man advantage. Curious to see how Sweet Synergy does this. It's a close enough game to where I suppose they could concede both if they wanted to. But they're not. They are rotating down a little bit piece metal, and Zagara has vision here. Oddish doing a nice job of cleaning that up. All members, 5 members of Sweet Synergy currently at this mid-top. Now Anubrak rotating to the bottom one, leaving a 4-on-5 here. Anubrak changing her mind and going to flank. Stun Sonya. Dahaka gets isolated. Multi-stun and stasises to stay alive once again, but he's caught in the Phoenix. I don't think Dahaka's going to get out this time, and he doesn't. Dahaka goes down. Zul goes down. The Divine Shield on Stitches with the follow-up stun from Anubrak takes out Zagara. Brightwing falls. The hook on Li Ming isn't going to finish her. She teleports away. But that's probably the best result Sweet Synergy has gotten from a team fight this game. 3-for-1 trade, and they're going to turn that into a Merc camp as well as both altars, putting them ahead in this game just a little bit. They're now going to be 8 hit points ahead of their opponent and ahead in talent ahead as well. Or I should say level ahead as well. And now it looks like they're going to try to take this bottom fort. If they manage to do that, which I don't see how Influx could stop them, that will be a big boon for them. That will give them an advantage on anything that happens in this bottom lane. And Influx responds fast enough in force. Brightwing gets hooked, but no follow-up there. Sweet Synergy is pinging a retreat. Influx saves their fort barely. And both teams content to go back, lick their wounds. Sweet Synergy getting their own Merc camp here on the bottom, while Influx is pushing out this bottom lane. Sweet Synergy needs to be careful if they rotate down here. All 5 members of Influx are here. Sweet Synergy does look like they're on their way, but Uther, Zool, and Kael'thas not here yet. They're on their way currently. Influx not pressing the advantage with not sure where everybody is, and they pull back to go clear out this mid push that Sweet Synergy has going. And Sweet Synergy is now, looks like they're going to try to finish off this bottom fort or party bush possibly. Both teams posturing. Oddish not able to hit on the long range hook. That would have definitely been bad news for Brightwing. Both teams consent to feel each other out, kind of like the beginning of a boxing match or the end of a Heroes of the Storm game, apparently. There's the altar spawn. Now we're going to see teams rotate down here, I would imagine. Sweet Synergy looks like they're going to clear the top lane first because only 2 members here, while all 5 members of Influx are here in force. Kael'thas is caught out a little bit. He was able to get away. There's the roots onto Sonya. She's getting chain stunned, and it's going to be tough for her to get out. She doesn't. And there's the dive from Anubarak. 5-on-4 in favor of Sweet Synergy. Anubarak taking a lot of damage from the polymorph. There goes the hook onto Zagara. Zagara is going to fall here. I'll be surprised if she doesn't. And she does not. Barely gets away, but there goes Dahaka. There goes Brightwing. If I were Sweet Synergy, I would get the fort first and then channel. You have the advantage, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Honeychild just kind of waiting. There they get the fort, and now Honeychild will channel the bottom altar. Sweet Synergy now in control of this game. It's been pretty close throughout, but the last 2 team fights were decisive in their favor, and they've been able to take advantage. Now taking Influx's Merc camps, and then it looks like they will rotate to the mid lane, possibly to take this fort, forcing Influx to decide between trying to retake their own bottom fort or defending this mid one. It looks like Influx is choosing to defend the bottom fort. They are still down 3 members, so they really can't do much of anything anyway. Sweet Synergy will take the middle fort and rotate to the top fort. They probably have time. Oh, or boss? Nope, I think that's a good call to get this top fort. They are just now, Influx, starting to defend the bottom fort. Dahaka and Brightwing will be here, but I don't know what they're going to do, just the 2 of them. Stall with the Emerald Wind, reinforcements from Zagara, but there's the hook. Dahaka has to bury himself to get out. Follow-up's done. It's a 5-on-3 here in favor of Sweet Synergy. Influx does a nice job of stalling out this fort just long enough to recapture their bottom one, so Sweet Synergy does not have complete control of the map. There's the hook onto Brightwing. She's probably going to go down. Follow-up stun from Uther and the Poison Nova from Zool. Kael'thas will finish out Brightwing. The Divine Shield keeps Anubarak alive. He was pretty low, and Brightwing is taken out again, leaving Sweet Synergy in a 5-on-4 advantage. Influx currently with only 7 points left on their core. It looks like Sweet Synergy is going to content to withdraw and lick their wounds, fill up on health and mana. Influx, in the meantime, is going to try to take back their 2 forts. And then they will have to go defend this altar, probably down Brightwing. I'm not sure if that's something they can do. In the meantime, Sweet Synergy, knowing that they're currently occupied at their other 2 forts, is going to go take bottom. And they will manage to take bottom before the altar spawns. now rotating to the mid altar. They're currently only altar spawning. Influx has 10 seconds before Brightwing will be able to teleport in here, so currently a 5-on-4 in the advantage of Sweet Synergy. They are currently just trying to zone out Influx, and that's what they do successfully, channeling the altar. Really not much of a contest from Influx. They were just showed themselves, let Sweet Synergy know that they were there, and then ultimately withdrew without their healer. Level 21 for Sweet Synergy, level 20 for Influx, and let Influx down to 2 hit points. 2 hit points on their core. This is a smart move from Sweet Synergy. They're going to get the Merc Camp and try to end the game with it. That's going to force a team battle right in front of the demilitarized zone here. Influx a little bit slow to rotate. Now they're getting here. They have to stop the Merc Camp, so they will lose the game. 5-on-5, it's going to be a very hard-fought team's battle here. Dahaka really pushing far forward, getting the drag on Anubarak with a Polymorph follow-up. No one able to finish him off. Anubarak throws a Chainstorm in there. Brightwing out in front again, throws out the Emerald Wind, but they kind of work against themselves. The Emerald Wind out of the Disintegrate range. There's the Phoenix, there's the Maw collecting one member of Sweet Synergy. The Polymorph goes off right in the middle. Brightwing is very low. Dahaka is going to fall. Brightwing has to go back, and Brightwing will probably fall from the poison. Sonya almost dead, but not quite. Although they lost the team fight, they do live to fight another day. 2 members of Influx down, and now 2 altar spawning. This is going to be very difficult for Influx to keep this up. Sweet Synergy is posturing on boss. They have a number of different ways they can win this game. They could be looking to bait Influx in for the boss, or now they're rotating back down to the altars and going to try to win it in the traditional way for Towers of Doom. They're sending 2 members to the bottom altar, 3 to the top, and zoning out. I would be surprised if this wasn't game.
And put an end.
And it's going to be. This is going to end the game. Well played by Sweet Synergy. Oh, Leeming goes in there to delay, but she's going to pay for it with her life. There she goes, Leeming down. Sonya, the only member alive. That's going to end the game. This was a really good game. Close throughout. Sweet Synergy took the lead at the end and controlled the game down the stretch. But for really the most of this game, really very, very close.
Blue team is victorious.
And Sweet Synergy with another impressive showing. They will increase their record to 5-1 in Division 2. Influx and us with a really good showing as well. Weren't quite able to wrap it up at the end. They fall to 4-2, still a very solid record. Look at the stats here. You can see the kills favoring Sweet Synergy just a little bit, 17-12. Let's see if anything stands out to me. I'm curious to see the number. Leeming actually outdamaged Kael'thas here. I'm curious to how much his nerf will help or hurt him. Even though 2 of the 3 high damage members were actually on Influx, you can see the group after that. Uther is really the only one who didn't contribute much in the way of damage, and that's not really Uther's job. Well played by both teams. Fun game. Thanks again for the host, Oddish, and allowing me to cast your guys' game once again. Excellent game. Sweet Synergy comes out with a victory again. Once again, they're 5-1. Influx falling to 4-2. That was a really fun game to cast. I enjoyed it. Please send me any feedback you might have. My Twitter is below. You can tweet it to me if you want to do it that way. You can drop me a line in Chair League, where my name is mongoose_22. I really appreciate feedback. I'm still figuring this casting thing out. And once again, my deepest apologies for that little mute fiasco in the beginning. That was no good. Well played again, guys. Yeah, you guys could hear the cat. That doesn't surprise me. It's right around his dinner time, and he is loud. And thanks again, Flimsy, for popping in here and supporting me, man. I do appreciate it if you're still there. Have a wonderful evening, all. We will see everybody in the Nexus.